Today, I want to talk about a roll of film that has changed everything for me. I've shot close to 40 rolls of film this year and many more than that in my 10 years being a photographer. Most of them have never ended up being any more than negatives in a box, posts on Instagram, or just living on my computer. Granted, I do share a lot of my work here on YouTube, which gives me a lot of satisfaction, but I've never had a big break with one photo or a series of photos. This year, that changed, and I ended up with achievements under my belt and opportunities I could never have imagined. So let's rewind to the lead up to shooting this roll of film and discuss how it's changed my photography career in a pretty big way. Okay, so in 2022, we saw a lot of new film stocks be released, and it was really exciting. I myself didn't have the funds to pre-order a bunch of CineStill 400D and get it shipped to Australia, which is quite expensive. But my good friend and YouTuber Matt Loves Cameras did. So I bought 2 rolls from him, one for me and one for my partner. When you shoot a new film stock, it's typically quite anxiety inducing as you don't know exactly how it's going to perform, how it's going to work with your style, did you pick the right camera, all of those things. Not to mention it's quite an expensive film, and it was clear that we weren't going to see any more CineStill 400D for quite a while after it was released. So for me, it felt like I was shooting like the last roll of aerochrome in existence. Okay, maybe not that bad, but I was just very anxious to only have one roll of this new, really hyped film to shoot and get it right. So I, of course, made a video shooting this roll of CineStill 400D, and if you want to see that video, then I'll link it below. To give you a quick rundown, it was wintertime here in Australia, still really beautiful and sunny, and it lined up perfectly with a classic car festival in my local area. So I thought, why not shoot this one roll of CineStill 400D at this car festival and be spoiled for choice with the subjects and the hustle and bustle of the festival. So I leaned hard into capturing the color of all the different cars and also the stainless steel panels on the side, knowing that that would result in halation, which I'm a really big fan of. I ended up burning through this roll pretty quickly, and I was super excited to send it off to the lab and see if I had nailed the shots. I was shooting with my OM10 on aperture priority, which is always a pretty reliable combination for me, but I wasn't sure how well the photos would come out, but it's kind of always like that with film. There's always a little bit of anxiety. So getting the photos back from the lab was wild. I couldn't believe how great my shots looked, and without tooting my own horn too much, I really loved the compositions, and there were only a couple of dud shots on the roll, which is always such a good feeling knowing that you've kind of nailed almost a whole roll of film. Little did I know that one of these images would appear in a group show at a local gallery, and from there project me into a world that I just never really thought I belonged in. This image here changed everything. So late one night while I was scrolling Instagram, as you do, I saw an open call for a submission at this local gallery with the theme being future dreams. So I thought, hey, why not enter? It was just one photo, really easy form to fill out. I didn't think anything would come of it. This is what I wrote alongside my submission, and I think a huge factor in my work being chosen. Lately, it feels the more we move into the future, the more we are nostalgic for the simplicity of the past. Nostalgia is a feeling best captured on film, and I hope to document that feeling for many years to come. I was really proud of myself for submitting to this, and it was a few months before I heard anything back. In the meantime, I uploaded these images to my darkroom site where I sell prints, and they were really well received and still are now. This photo here has sold over 20 times on my shop, and I think that's really amazing as prints are a pretty hard sell these days. I love how people are responding to this image. I think it's making them feel happy and nostalgic, and it's so awesome for people to want to buy a print of your work and have it in their home. The others continue to sell really well and have just given me so much confidence in selling my work as prints. If you want to check out my shop, I do have a 20% off sale right now, so it's a great time to purchase. I will put a link in the description, and if you start your own darkroom shop, definitely tag me on Instagram so I can share it. So back to the submission earlier this year. I was just going about my day, cleaning the kitchen while my son was asleep, and I had an email from the gallery notifying me that my artwork had been chosen and would be featured in the group show and also part of their annual calendar. I literally couldn't wipe the smile off my face all day. I was so proud of myself for entering and putting my work out there and it resulting in me being in my first ever exhibition and also being printed in this awesome calendar. The exhibition has been and gone now, but it was such an awesome experience to go somewhere and see my work printed so big on a wall and actually watch people in real life going up to it and looking at it, pointing at it, talking about it. It was crazy. It was so cool. It was a really funny feeling for me because, as you know, watching, I share my photography on YouTube all the time. And whilst my channel isn't huge, I am coming up to nearly 500,000 views overall on my channel, which is massive. And this exhibition, there was probably maybe 50 or 60 people at the most in this room, but it just felt like so much more of an occasion and the impact was just completely different to looking at my phone and seeing that a video's had 20K views or something like that. So the gallery ended up giving me the image that was on the wall, and seeing a 35mm neg printed this big is so cool. Shout out to Ikigai, my film lab, for scanning this in high res. It looked so beautiful printed. My dad made and painted a frame for it, and it is now hanging in our room above our bed, and I'm so happy every time I look at it. Okay, so it wasn't just getting exhibited. There is a little bit more to this story, so stick around to hear more. The day after the group exhibition, I had an email through my darkroom print shop from a lady who had attended the gallery and wanted to buy the same print. She also mentioned that she works at a gallery that's local to me. That's a pretty big deal, and she's one of the curators there. So her telling me that and saying how much she liked the photograph and she wanted to purchase it was just totally wild for me. I've never really communicated with anybody like that in that kind of space, and I've never sold a print locally either. So not only did this lady purchase a print that I then got to deliver to her by hand, which I've never done before, she also said that she passed my information on to the curatorial team and notified them that she had seen me show locally, and also told them about the things that I'm doing online, like my YouTube channel and my podcast and all that kind of stuff, which I thought was really, really lovely of her and so amazing to have interest from somebody in the local art scene. So as if this roll of 400D hadn't given me enough luck in 2022, I then had an email from somebody on the curatorial team asking me to come in January to discuss my work. Totally bonkers. So maybe you're sitting there like, okay, cool. Thanks, Lucy, for like sharing all these accomplishments with us and boasting about yourself. And whilst I think it's important to share and celebrate your wins, I am not telling you to boast. I am telling you because I hope that it inspires you to submit to something in 2023 or put your work out there, even if it's in a small way, like what I did to this open call on Instagram. To bring it back even further, if I hadn't have shot this roll of film, I wouldn't have got all of these photographs that have sold really well as prints, been shown in an exhibition, and have now led to more opportunities in that area. So next time you put a roll of film in your camera, you just really don't know where that's going to take you. So thank you, CineStill, for making 400D this year. And thank you to you guys watching and commenting and supporting me throughout this year of YouTube, helping me to keep going and keep creating. I feel so grateful for all the love and support this year, and I really hope that my channel can continue to inspire and motivate you to really grab life by the balls and chase those dreams. I really hope to share more of my photographic journey with you and personal kind of things like this in 2023 on the channel. And hey, if you haven't tried CineStill 400D, I bet you want to now. It's magical.